It's a strange feeling when you're afraid to be in your own country. I'm a Nigerian. I like Nigeria, but for some reason, I'm always restless while I'm there. Partly because I'm usually carrying really expensive equipment, and also partly because honestly, I never really knew my way around the streets. But even Nigerians will admit that Nigeria is a difficult place to live. It's a scary place to live. And yet for many reasons, many reasons, I find myself going back. Now you guys already know the story. We left when I was 12. We didn't go back for like 9 years, almost a decade. So the first trip was in 2021. Very happy times. The second trip, 2 years later, not so happy times. This is a record of that second trip, specifically 5 days I spent across Abuja, Nasarawa, and Calabar. I'm trying very hard not to botch my pronunciations, but I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea. Unlike the last time I told this story, this is not a sad story. It's just somewhere in the middle. It's kind of objective. All right, so we're going to be shooting some film in Nigeria. Back up. And we brought 3 rolls of film. In terms of price, most expensive, middle, and then least expensive. This is black and white, very suitable for like super bright days, which is mostly what we have in Nigeria. Kodak Gold, you can't go wrong, I've heard, with Kodak Gold. And then Cine Still 800, which is good for low lights. There'll be a lot of low lights.
Yeah, I hope you're trying to merge.
I've always wanted these videos of Nigeria to feel like a documentary. I've always imagined these videos as answers to questions I might not know how to answer in the future, if that makes sense. Questions like, what was Christmas as a kid? How did it feel like being in a huge family? What did you eat growing up?
Move your hand, please.
One. You need 1 or 2.
Don't waste all that 6. Don't waste it all.
And to be fair, I haven't really done this vision justice in past projects. For example, after the first trip, I did 3 videos. The first video was mostly food. The second video was like a travel montage, and we didn't actually see the country until the last 5 minutes of the video. The only one that came really close to this vision was the Christmas in Nigeria episode, the last one from that trilogy. So for this trip, for our second trip, I tried a different approach. I switched over from the huge Sony camera to this tiny Osmo Pocket 3. Suddenly I could go into all the little nooks and crannies, the corner shops, the marketplace. I didn't attract as much attention with the huge camera. Suddenly I was more or less invisible. Okay, so let me explain things to you like practically, real quick. Every flight that comes into Nigeria either lands here, Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos, or here. Oh gosh, here, Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja. Now there's like 4 international airports in total, but more than likely you land in one of these 2. We land in this one. This is in Abuja, right here, and this is basically our base of operations. We used to live somewhere here, Gwarimpa. It's between like Kuje, Zuba, Babalada, all these different places. So from here we travel east towards Kefi. Now, the thing with this trip is that somewhere in the middle, it's a place called Maraba Market. Very chaotic. I think we've taken this trip like 4 times between the last 2 times we've been back. There's like just a few officers trying to keep the peace, but traffic is always there. We go to Kefi to visit my dad's hotel. It's a nice picture I took on my film camera. And then from there, we take the long trek from Kefi up here all the way down to Ogoja. That's our hometown. Now this trip is anything but straightforward. There's something I like to call the typical long distance Nigerian road trip checklist. One thing you always see is incessant checkpoints, most of which, or some of which, will ask for bribes, and then traffic officers that are overly armed, some of them having automatic weapons. I kid you not, I went on Google Maps, and somewhere down here past Boko, somewhere like, I forget exactly the spot, but it was a random spot I picked, and I saw one of those guys with the weapons. And I think I also took a picture. It was like black and white, but I was behind my aunt, and I took one of those pictures. They had the same weapons. So this is so different from the American reality that I experienced with Hannah, where visiting family or going to a childhood home is just a couple of hours away. There are real obstacles standing between me and something as simple as going to a childhood home or visiting a gravesite or doing anything in this region of the country in general.
Finish.
I remember.
The back is open.
The back is open.
Yes. That's where we used to enter and rock from one party. Party can be in Makodi.
Yes.
We are all there. From there, the next day, party this way, we are there. That's how we used to live our life there. Every evening is gathering of this set of people.
All right, so the unfortunate reality is that I'm slowly being locked out from some of these spaces, in a sense. And on that trip, it would appear that life had given me a box of lemons. And as God would have it, I wasn't so opposed to the idea of making lemonade. And so I did. I had a brilliant idea, really. If I couldn't come back to those landmarks, then somehow I could take the landmarks with me. And I wasn't really thinking of taking more pictures. With all the advances in technology, I believe that there had to be a more immersive way to kind of capture, I'm sure zeitgeist is not the word, but to capture the places and you know, have them in a very tangible way. So I ran into this app. It's called Polycam. It's a 3D scanning app that uses a plethora of techniques, pictures, LiDAR, just super advanced stuff. And it was at that point that I started archiving, taking pictures of different rooms, of different small spaces that I knew I would want to remember exactly how they looked. Of course, I couldn't scan an entire town. That would be impossible. But I could scan a room, I could scan a hallway, and then I could put all those scans in one place and save some of those answers that I knew time would eventually erase. So I was able to capture a lot of the places. I had all the raw files, but what I didn't have was the resources to process those files.
I'm gonna watch this video in the future, and I'm gonna be so happy to have Wi-Fi. Guys, don't take Wi-Fi for granted. If you're watching this video, you're watching it with no worries, and it's gonna be loading like.
So the files just sat on my phone. Well, actually, they sat on my sister's phone, which brings us here. So it's been almost a year since that trip, and I finally decided to start working on the scans. The thing is, like, when I did have the initial idea, it was just like an idea on the spot, like take a camera, scan the rooms, maybe have a 3D scan, yada yada. I had seen what people could do with the 3D scanning app, but I didn't really think too far ahead. So I'm not really sure if or how this is going to work. It turns out I didn't have to go hunt Fable down. In between the time that I had planned that section of the video and then while editing, when I actually needed those scans, Fable came over to the house. I checked already and the scans are secure. So here we go. She didn't delete them. All the scans from Nigeria are on here. So I'm just going to transfer them over to the Mac and then see how well they integrate into the video. But man, this is kind of mind blowing when I think about it. Look at this. This is my dad's like private room in the back in his hotel. Over there, this is where the roof had collapsed shortly before we got there. And then if you look up, you can kind of see it's disconnected. That's called plaster of Paris. So it's what they use for the roofing on the interior. This was the restroom area. And then in here is the kitchen. And this is just like incredible that you could have this kind of fidelity, not just a picture that has one angle, but like multiple angles and literally walking through the space. That's just priceless. Okay, so now, in light of all the social and economic barriers that keep us out of the places we belong, a common question arises, right? Like, who can make sure justice is upheld, that every wrong is made right? Is there some organization out there that doesn't exist yet? Or is it us as a collection of people coming together around a shared cause? I think we need something big. We need something bigger than big. Behold my servant, whom I uphold. This is God talking. He's saying, look at my servant. This my servant, this my chosen servant, in whom I put my spirit. He will bring forth justice to all the nations. This servant will not grow faint until he has established justice. God is saying, my arm is not too short that I cannot save. My ears are not dull that I cannot hear. No, it is your sin that has brought a separation between you and God. And so we need someone who is unmarred by sin, someone who is comprehensively powerful, who will make sure that every stone is turned. And to be honest, there's only one guy I know that fits the bill. The powers that be might seem too big to fail. The problems that we face might seem insurmountable. Oh, but God, He will swallow up death forever. He will wipe away every tear. He will take away the disgrace of His people. So in light of the social and economic barriers that try and impede all my efforts through life, in light of all the small and great injustices, there stands a promise, an invitation to a solution that is bigger than big. Okay, so now that I got that off of my chest, I'm going to say public service announcement to all the cousins. Let's try and make it to Christmas 2026, this upcoming Christmas. We should all come to Nigeria. Grandma is still alive, so we have reason to go while she's still alive. Start planning now, start saving up money now, so that when we when it's time, nobody has excuses. And let's have one big family Christmas. Make it unforgettable. Because we're all over the diaspora. It's like US, Canada, England. So let's come back home. All right. Until we make new memories, I will keep the memories I have safe. I'll see you later.
It's like there was a bridge like Apple Bridge. I think that bridge has been there for like incomplete for like 7 to 10 years.
Wow.
That guy just came. Yeah, no, That guy just came. On that 1 year, he has done it. Cleared everything. So that's how you know that.
That's like
they can do
usually
it.
the system here.
Yeah, they can
This
do it
person
for like.
comes in, does like half of the job, gets his own praise. They vote him again. Okay, he's in. Then okay, you abandon that one. Then somebody now feel like okay, let me just come and finish this thing and everybody and take all the glory of like you get. So now this guy that has finished the bridge, the Apple bridge now, they'll say he has done so many things. When he also
At least it didn't work because for
what's
just
next?
Apple.
You see so many videos of what he has done.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, they're just using us.